Let's talk about one of the weirdest things in the world of artificial intelligence, the AI paradox. Imagine this. Sometimes, all it takes is a cleverly worded sentence to bypass even the most advanced security measures. No hacking tools, no viruses, just words. It's like tricking a super smart robot with a riddle. This phenomenon shows how language alone can challenge the limits of digital protection, making us rethink how we secure our tech. Let's talk about prompt injection, a fancy term for a surprisingly simple trick. Basically, it's when someone sneaks extra instructions into a conversation with an AI, making it do things it wasn't supposed to. This matters because language models are like sponges. They soak up whatever you feed them. If someone slips in a clever prompt, the AI might spill secrets, ignore safety rules, or just act weird. That's why prompt injection is considered one of the biggest risks for language models right now. Words can be powerful, and in the world of AI, they're the main way to hack the system. Let's rewind to the early days of AI chatbots. Users quickly figured out that you could trick these systems just by tweaking your words. Sometimes, it was as simple as swapping a phrase or asking a question in a weird way. People weren't always trying to break the rules. Often, it was just for fun, like seeing how creative you could get. These playful experiments revealed that AI isn't as foolproof as it seems, and that language can be a pretty powerful tool. Let's talk about a clever workaround people sometimes use with AI, turning a forbidden request into a poem. Instead of asking directly for something the AI isn't allowed to answer, they rephrase the question in a creative or poetic way. The idea is that the AI might respond to the artistic format, even if the content is off limits. It's a bit like sneaking past a security guard by wearing a costume. While it sounds playful, it highlights how important it is for AI systems to recognize not just what's being asked, but how it's being asked. Let's talk about the Bing Chat incident, where a cleverly worded question managed to expose some secrets under the hood. By simply asking the right thing, users discovered Bing Chat's internal system prompt and even its codename, Sydney. This wasn't some high-tech hacking, just smart phrasing that caught the AI off guard. It's a reminder that sometimes the most surprising discoveries come from curiosity and a bit of creativity. And suddenly, everyone got a peek at how Bing Chat thinks behind the scenes. Let's talk about DAN prompts, which stands for Do Anything Now. Basically, these prompts are like giving an AIA backstage pass, asking it to roleplay and act outside its usual boundaries. By pretending to be a character or adopting a new persona, the AI can sometimes sidestep the ethical guardrails built into its programming. It's a bit like playing a game where the rules are temporarily suspended, letting the AI respond in ways it normally wouldn't. This technique has sparked debates about safety and responsibility, since it challenges the limits set to keep AI behavior in check. Think of the relationship between hackers and developers like a never-ending race. Every time hackers come up with a clever trick to break into systems, developers respond with a new defense. But just when things seem secure, another loophole pops up, and the chase starts all over again. It's a cycle of innovation and adaptation, where both sides are constantly trying to outsmart each other. This dynamic keeps the tech world on its toes, making cybersecurity a game that never really ends. So why are AI systems so easy to manipulate? It all comes down to a blurry line between what the creators want the AI to do and what users ask it to do. Basically, the AI doesn't always know whose instructions to follow. This means that clever users can sometimes trick the AI into doing things it wasn't supposed to. It's like giving a robot mixed signals. Sometimes, it just gets confused and follows the wrong lead. Let's talk about the system prompt. Basically, it's the set of instructions that guides how an AI responds. Think of it like the rules of a board game. It sets boundaries and tells the AI what to focus on. But here's the catch. Even with strict instructions, clever wording or tricky phrasing can sometimes sneak past those rules. That means the AI might still get tripped up by smartly crafted prompts, making it a bit vulnerable. So, while the system prompt is powerful, it's not foolproof against creative loopholes. Let's look at a real-world example. The phrase, "ignore previous instructions." When you type this into tools like Bing or automatic translators, it can sometimes cause the system to behave in unexpected ways. For instance, Bing's chatbot might start following your new instructions, even if they go against its original programming. In translation tools, this phrase might confuse the system, leading to odd or literal translations. These examples show how a simple sentence can have a big impact on how AI tools interpret and respond to your requests. Let's talk about a quirky challenge for AI, figuring out which instructions matter most. For an AI, everything is just text, whether it's a command, a question, or a random comment. This means the system doesn't naturally know what's important and what's not, making it easier for mistakes or confusion to slip in. It's a bit like trying to organize a messy desk when every piece of paper looks exactly the same. This structural weakness is one reason why AI sometimes struggles to follow directions the way humans expect. Let's talk about role-playing as a way to trick AI into breaking its own rules. Imagine you ask the AI to pretend it's a fictional character, like a pirate or a scientist. Suddenly, the AI might respond differently because it thinks it's just playing along. This clever move can sometimes get the AI to say things it normally wouldn't, all because it's in character. It's a bit like sneaking past a security guard by wearing a costume. The rules get blurry when you're acting out a role. As artificial intelligence gets smarter, it's getting better at spotting suspicious requests. Think weird emails or fishy logins. But here's the twist. Every time defenses improve, hackers and scammers come up with clever new tricks to sneak past them. It's like a game of cat and mouse, where both sides keep leveling up. So while AI helps keep us safer, the challenge is always evolving. And there's never a dull moment in the world of digital security. Universal Transferable Suffixes, or UTS, might sound like a mouthful, but they're basically just random strings of characters tacked onto digital assets. The weird part? These seemingly meaningless codes can actually bypass important safeguards. Imagine a lock that's supposed to keep things secure, but someone finds a way to slip in by adding a bizarre password. That's how UTS can mess with the system, letting assets move around in ways they weren't meant to. It's a bit like finding a loophole in the rules, and suddenly, the whole security setup doesn't work as planned. Let's talk about how hackers hunt for new exploits using something called brute force algorithms. Basically, they run tons of automated tests, trying out every possible combination to find a loophole that slips past security filters. It's like guessing a password by trying every option, but way faster and way more sophisticated. This method doesn't rely on luck. It's all about persistence and computing power. If a filter isn't airtight, brute force can eventually find a way through. Imagine asking an AI to repeat the same word over and over, and suddenly, it starts spitting out private information. That's exactly what happened when researchers tested some language models. By simply prompting the AI with a single word, they managed to unlock bits of data that were supposed to stay hidden. This kind of data leak shows that AI can sometimes remember things it shouldn't, raising big questions about privacy and how these systems are trained. It's a reminder that even simple tricks can reveal surprising and sometimes worrying results. Let's talk about the risks of sharing confidential information, like API keys or personal data, hidden inside AI models. When these models are trained, they sometimes pick up sensitive details without anyone noticing. If someone digs deep enough, there's a chance they could uncover and misuse this information. That's why it's super important to keep an eye on what gets fed into a model and make sure nothing private slips through. Staying careful helps protect both your data and your peace of mind. It's like a never-ending game of cat and mouse. Every time a model gets updated with new protections, someone finds a clever way to get around them. These updates are meant to patch vulnerabilities, but they often introduce fresh loopholes. So the cycle continues. Fix one problem, discover another. That's why keeping AI safe is always a work in progress, not a one-time job. Let's talk about the current ways people try to keep AI in check. There are prompt detectors that look for malicious instructions and usage restrictions that limit what you can do with the technology. But here's the thing. These solutions aren't perfect. Detectors can miss sneaky prompts, and restrictions sometimes block harmless or creative uses. So, while these tools help, They also create new headaches and don't always catch the real troublemakers. Let's talk about why hacking an AI can be a bigger deal than just stealing your bank account. When someone breaks into an AI system, they're not just after your money. They could get access to tons of personal info, like your habits, preferences, and even private conversations. Unlike a bank account, which you can freeze or change, your personal data is much harder to protect once it's out there. This kind of breach can lead to identity theft, targeted scams, or even manipulation of your online experience. So, the risks go way beyond losing cash. They can impact your entire digital life. Accidental bugs can sometimes lead to unexpected consequences. Take March 2023, for example, when a glitch exposed the titles of private conversations. Suddenly, users could see snippets of chats that were meant to stay confidential. This kind of bug isn't just embarrassing, it raises big questions about privacy and trust in digital platforms. It's a reminder that even small coding errors can have a real-world impact on how safe we feel online. Let's talk about indirect prompt injection. Imagine you're chatting with an AI, and hidden inside the text you give it is a secret instruction, kind of like a sneaky note slipped into a conversation. If the AI follows that hidden command, it might accidentally spill confidential info or do something it wasn't supposed to. This trick works because the AI doesn't always know what's safe to share, especially when instructions are disguised. It's a reminder that even smart machines can be fooled by clever wording. Let's talk about attacks using external content. Imagine a web page with invisible text hidden in the code, or a PDF file with secret instructions tucked away where you can't see them. Hackers use these tricks to sneak information past your eyes and straight into the hands of their target software. It's like leaving a secret note in a place only a computer can read. These hidden messages can trigger unexpected actions, making it important to stay alert to what's lurking beneath the surface. Let's talk about the domino effect in AI, how one bad prompt can set off a chain reaction. Imagine you send a sneaky, malicious message to an AI. If that AI shares its response with another AI, the problem spreads, kind of like passing a cold around. This back and forth can infect multiple systems, making the issue bigger and harder to control. It's a reminder that, just like in real life, what starts small can quickly become everyone's problem if we're not careful. Imagine a computer virus, but instead of spreading through files or networks, it travels through language. Linguistic worms are a new kind of cyber threat that can jump from one AI to another just by sharing text. Basically, if one AI gets infected, it can pass the malicious code to another AI simply by communicating. This means that the risks aren't just technical anymore. They're woven into the way machines talk to each other. It's a wild reminder that even words can carry hidden dangers in the world of artificial intelligence. Let's talk about why spotting these sneaky attacks is so tricky. Malicious words often look just like normal ones. There's no flashing warning sign or obvious difference. Hackers are clever, blending their harmful messages into everyday language so they slip right past our radar. Even experts sometimes struggle to tell the good from the bad, because the line between them can be razor thin. That's what makes defending against these attacks such a challenge. Let's talk about the growing independence of AI. These systems aren't just crunching numbers anymore. They're starting to make real-world moves, like sending emails or handling transactions. That sounds pretty handy, but it also comes with risks. If an AI makes a mistake or gets manipulated, it could cause financial losses or privacy breaches. So, as AI gets more freedom to act, we need to think carefully about how to keep things safe and under control. Let's talk about some real-life cases where things got a little messy. Imagine a company's customer service chatbot getting hacked. Suddenly, sensitive info like names, emails, or even payment details could be exposed. Or picture a translation system in a big firm being compromised, leading to confidential documents leaking out or messages getting twisted. These aren't just tech glitches. They can seriously damage a company's reputation and cost a lot of money. It's a reminder that even the tools meant to make life easier can become targets if we're not careful. Detecting a prompt injection is trickier than you might think. Unlike traditional hacks, there are no obvious traces left in the code. No lines changed, no files added. It's a purely linguistic attack, meaning it happens through clever wording and manipulation of language. This makes it hard for developers to spot, since the system behaves as if everything is normal. Basically, it's like someone sneaking a secret message into a conversation, and unless you're paying close attention, you might not even notice it happened. Here's the tricky part. The more powerful an AI gets, the more useful it becomes. But it also gets more vulnerable to clever language attacks. Think about it like a super smart assistant that can do almost anything you ask. But if someone figures out the right words, they might trick it into doing something it shouldn't. So, developers have to balance making AI helpful with keeping it safe from misuse. It's a bit like locking your doors while still letting friends in. Finding that sweet spot isn't easy. Here's the big issue. With AI in the mix, the line between simply sharing information and actually manipulating people gets pretty blurry. It's not always obvious when a message is just communication, or when it's nudging you toward a certain opinion or action. AI can tailor messages so well that it's hard to tell if you're being informed or influenced. This makes it tricky to know who's really in control of the conversation and what their true intentions are. Understanding this blurred boundary is key to navigating the world of AI-powered content. Language isn't just about chatting or sharing ideas. It's a powerful tool for shaping how we think and act. From ancient times to today, people have used rhetoric, propaganda, and even charm to influence others. Politicians, advertisers, and leaders all know how to spin words to get what they want. Sometimes it's subtle, like a catchy slogan. Other times, it's more direct, like persuasive speeches. Understanding these tricks helps us spot when someone's trying to sway our opinions so we can make up our own minds. AI systems are actually easier to influence than humans. Unlike us, they don't have that gut feeling of suspicion when something seems off. If you phrase your instructions cleverly, most AI will just follow along without questioning your motives. This lack of instinctive caution makes them pretty obedient, especially when faced with well-crafted requests. It's a big reason why experts are always talking about the need for safeguards and ethical guidelines in AI development. Here's the twist. Everyone was worried about artificial intelligence taking over, but it turns out humans are the ones pulling the strings. Instead of AI dominating us, clever people are finding ways to trick and manipulate these systems to get what they want. It's almost like the robots are the ones being outsmarted. So, the real power play isn't about machines ruling the world. It's about how creative humans can bend technology to their advantage. AI isn't just a bunch of code-crunching numbers. It actually acts like a mirror for how we respond to language. Think about it. The words we hear or read can totally shape how we feel, what we believe, and even how we act. When AI picks up on this, it shows us just how powerful language really is. If we're influenced by certain phrases or ideas, AI can be influenced too, because it learns from us. So, in a way, our own vulnerability to words gets reflected right back at us through these smart machines. In language, there's no such thing as an absolute lock. Every rule you learn can be bent, broken, or reimagined, sometimes in ways you'd never expect. This flexibility is what makes language so alive. It's always evolving, shaped by how people actually use it. So, even the strictest grammar rule is really just a guideline, open to endless reinterpretation. That's why new words and expressions pop up all the time, keeping communication fresh and dynamic. Should we stop using AI altogether? Well, it's not that simple. The real challenge isn't about banning technology, but about learning to live with its risks. Just like with any powerful tool, staying alert and understanding how it works is key. By being vigilant, we can enjoy the benefits of AI while keeping an eye out for any downsides. So in the end, it's not just people who are the weak link, it's the way we communicate. Messages can get twisted, misunderstood, or even used against us. When clever tricks are in play, being careful is really the only thing that matters. Staying alert and questioning what you hear can make all the difference. It's not about being paranoid, just about being smart with how you share and receive information.